What's going on, guys? Welcome to Essential Style. In this video we're going to be going over some of my essential winter pieces that I use every winter to keep me warm, dry, and looking pretty stylish. Using these pieces for the past few years and I've had great success. I do get a little cold sometimes and sometimes they're not perfect, but overall they really do a great job of keeping me looking stylish, dry, warm. Alright, before we get into any of the outerwear, we're going to talk about some of the base layers and some of the things that I wear underneath the jackets. And the first one, we'll just keep it simple, is going to be a light blue Oxford shirt. You could wear a dress shirt if you'd like. You can wear a patterned shirt like the gingham ones. You could wear a check shirt. You could wear flannel, white dress shirt, you name it. I just happen to like the light blue Oxford the most. In the wintertime, it's a nice soft fabric against my skin, and it does retain a little bit more warmth. It's more of a fall, winter, spring item. It's a little bit hot for the summer, which means that it's really good for the winter. 100% cotton, and it's just really easy. Throw on any sweater over it, and you're good to go. So item number 2 is going to be a lightweight merino wool V-neck sweater. Why merino wool? Because merino wool, in my experience, is super warm, super breathable, super lightweight. Yes, you can get all three if you get a merino wool sweater. I was blown away too. At first I thought they were a bit preppy. However, I'm telling you guys, when I go out, if I was to put one of my heavy winter jackets on and not wear this sweater and just wear the Oxford shirt, it's a big difference. Enough for me to say it's really cold versus, oh, it's actually not that bad. The insulating properties of merino wool are just really, really good. And I should mention that this is 100% merino wool. It is going to be a little bit more pricey than some of those wool blends, but it's going to be more warmer and it's going to be more durable as well. These things, I've rolled around on the floor with them. They're just really, really durable. They're really convenient. They're not big and bulky like some of those shawl collar cardigans or anything like that. It's not like wearing a fleece underneath your nice fitted jacket. Really, these things, they just fit into my wardrobe perfectly, and I think they're very underutilized by a lot of guys. So now this is really up to you. I like to wear jeans in the wintertime. Obviously, I think most people do. But in particular, I like to wear the dark wash jeans. I find the dark wash jeans are just really great. They fit into all situations. Some of the light wash jeans, they look great. They look better in casual situations. That's not really my style. I would prefer to buy dark wash jeans and just run them through the washer dryer. You can see these ones are getting a little bit more faded. That's kind of where my phone sits right there. That's where my wallet sits. You can see it's got a little bit of fade, so it kind of looks nice with the dark blue sweater. These jeans are also from Banana Republic. They are the Legacy denim, which is a little bit more of a heavyweight denim than just your regular Levi's or Gap jeans. But in the wintertime, I find that this heavier weight denim is actually nicer because I don't get that cold when I'm outside and I don't overheat on the inside. I know back in the day I used to wear thermals underneath all my pants, and you kind of had a choice. You'd be comfortable outside and you'd cook on the inside, like it'd be too warm, or you'd be nice and comfortable on the inside, but when you went outside you froze and it was just way too cold. The pants didn't retain any heat at all. These jeans, the mid to heavyweight jeans, they do get a bit cold if you had to like stand outside for a long time and it was below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're going out for a nice walk, or if you're going out and you're just doing a couple things, if you just keep it moving, overall, unless it's really windy, it's not going to be a problem. And in my experience, it's just not worth having thermals where I'm living here in the New York area. So of course you can wear khaki chinos if you'd like. You can wear a suit if you have to wear a suit. If you want to wear wool trousers, you can wear flannel trousers. I don't really have any experience with that. For me, being more of a smart business casual side, I just prefer the dark wash jeans, especially sometimes my job has me rolling around on the floor installing equipment. So jeans just work for me. I wouldn't want to be wearing anything nicer than jeans anyway for that. So dark wash jeans, they're absolutely a winter staple. And the next item should come as no surprise to anybody. I'm wearing my LL Bean duck boots today. There's snow on the ground, and they're really nice because they come all the way up to here. I can step in a pretty deep puddle. Obviously, these don't have any insulating properties inside of them. They're the unlined version. However, if I wear a thick wool sock like I've got on right now, then they're going to keep my feet nice and dry. Dry equals warmth. I've also got a shearling insole in there, so it's pretty warm. Again, similar to the jeans, these boots, if I was wearing them outside and I was just standing there, my feet would get pretty cold. But as long as I keep moving around, I don't have any problems with them. and I find them to be really robust and really resilient against salt, especially just because it's rubber right here. Now, obviously, if there wasn't any snow on the ground, that just gives you a lot more options. I was wearing this boot every day this week, but you can see I have a couple of salt stains, so I'm just kind of giving them a rest. I don't want to completely destroy them, at least not right away. And I know that the salt is going to just eat away at the leather. Just giving them a quick rest. And then obviously, if it wasn't snowing, you'd be able to wear something like this, or you'd be able to wear something like the trusty Iron Ranger. You could even wear this in the snow if you'd like. It's going to give you grip, but it's not really going to keep you that warm, and it's also, they're not really as waterproof as the Gore-Tex line boots or the rubber boots. So these, if you're just going out to the car, if you're just walking outside for 5 minutes, you can wear something like this that's just got a nice rubber sole with traction and a nice regular leather type of upper. But just bear in mind that if you go stepping in a bunch of puddles, your feet are probably going to get wet. Wet equals cold. So just something to think about, but yep, absolutely, these are just some boots that are some winter staples. Should be no surprises here, guys. And next item, inside of those boots we were just talking about, you guys are going to want to wear something that has a bit more of an insulating property than just your regular cotton athletic socks. Because once cotton gets wet, it just gets super cold and it just retains that moisture. Here we have a heavyweight wool sock, a midweight wool sock, this one, and I would call it a merino wool sock. So we call this a lightweight wool sock. I actually am wearing a pair of these right now. These are the LL Bean Boot socks. So they pair really nice with my bean boots that I've got on right now that you guys just saw. Really good if you're out shoveling snow, if it's definitely below freezing, if it's like 25 degrees out. These things are going to be good. If you're going to be standing outside in the cold of the snow for a really long time, you probably are going to want to get some boots with some sort of insulation. Even the Echo Track Gore-Tex boots with the Gore-Tex. They do make the duck boots with the Gore-Tex and the Thinsulate. I prefer to just because I don't really have to stand outside in the cold a lot. I'd rather just wear a nice thick wool sock. And if my feet get a little bit cold, it's not a big deal because overall, I'd rather have my feet get a little bit cold here and there than feel nice and warm, but then just get super, super hot when I'm just moving around or walking around. These are really good for wearing the bean boots on the cold days. But these are kind of thick and they really don't fit in any of my other boots, so they're pretty much just a one-trick pony. They're very, very, very tight fit in my Iron Rangers to the point where I'd just rather not wear the Rangers if I'm going to be wearing these. The next, I'd call it a midweight sock. This is the LL Bean Wool Cresta hiking sock. They make them in lightweight and then regular. These are regular. I haven't really felt much of a difference. I guess the lightweight ones are a little bit thinner. But this, I can wear this in a lot of my other boots. It does get a bit tight if I'm wearing more of my sneakers or shoes. That's not where this shines. However, if it's cold enough that I have to wear something like a midweight wool sock, I wouldn't even be wearing shoes or sneakers. I'd wear one of my many pairs of boots. And finally, we have the Bombas Socks Merino Wool Sock. These socks are awesome. The only thing I can fault them with is that they do fall down as the day goes on. But these things are only a little bit thicker than a regular athletic sock. I've actually been able to put my foot into a dress shoe wearing this sock. Again, it's not as thin as a dress sock, so it is a bit tight. But just to give you guys some context, if you want to wear running shoes, if you want to wear your Vans, your Converse, your Clark's Desert Boots, any of the shoe you've seen that's like not a winter fall boot on the channel here, yes, this absolutely works. It does not make your feet feel like it's too cramped. This is just another thin layer. And again, merino wool sock, just like we were saying before, the merino wool sweater, very thin and very warm for what it is. So if you're trying to dress a little bit more stylish in the winter, you probably don't want to wear that Parka jacket or that winter jacket that you wear just for going out shoveling snow. Maybe it's a super bright orange color so that you're actually visible to drivers coming down the road. It's great for that. It's great for snowboarding, skiing, sledding with your family. But if you are looking to make a really good impression, and you're looking to be taken seriously if you're going into your workplace, I would highly recommend getting a jacket either like a Topcoat or a Peacoat. I've opted for a Peacoat just because I find that the price was right when I bought this one. The warmth is just really, really, really good because it's a double-breasted garment, which means that right here, it just kind of wraps around itself and it just gives a lot of warmth. This Peacoat I've had for about 3 years, I think it is, maybe even 4 years. And for 2 whole winters, this was the only jacket I wore. I had an old, cheaper down jacket that wasn't even that warm, and the zipper started to give way, and when it got wet, it just would not warm anymore. So I just always defaulted to this jacket. And the nice thing about most Peacoats is they're 100% wool. This particular Peacoat is from Shot NYC, similar to my brown leather jacket. It is 100% wool. The fit is a bit baggy. It's definitely not the slimmest thing you could find, but in my experience, unless you want to pay north of $500, this is really the best thing because, again, 100% wool. And I tried a lot of different Peacoats. I tried like probably 20 models from Macy's. And you can find some great stuff at Macy's too, especially under $100. But if you're looking for a Peacoat that you want to keep you warm below 30 degrees, 20 degrees, or even below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, definitely consider the Shot Peacoat. I think this is a 740N model. It took me a little while to get the size right. Like I said, I sized down, but then I sized up, and there really was no difference. It is kind of baggy here. The armholes are pretty high. There's a lot of bagginess right there. But the nice thing is, if I really want to, I can wear a thin, lightweight down jacket underneath it and make it even warmer. So like I said, this was my only jacket for 2 or 3 years that I relied on, and it got the job done, no problem. So absolutely, Peacoat definitely gets a green light from me. So scarves are another option that I don't see a lot of guys wearing. Some guys I see wearing them, but I also see a lot of guys that don't wear them. And I kind of run a bit cool. I get cold very easily in the wintertime. I'm not sure what it is. I find if I put a scarf on in the wintertime, it makes a significant difference with how warm I am and how comfortable I am outside. Because with no scarf, the wind can just hit your neck and your chest right here. However, if you do decide to put a scarf on, just wrap it 1, 2 like that. Then you just go ahead and button up your jacket. That makes a big difference. It almost acts like a gasket. It traps the heat inside while keeping the cold. It's an extra layer against your neck. You could even go, I know a lot of guys don't like to wear their Peacoats like this, but if you button it all the way up, I don't button it, I just fold it over on itself. Now, super, super warm, and this is how I got through those 10-degree days that we've had the last couple of winters here in the Northeast. But absolutely, scarves, really, really essential piece of item in the winter. I can't live without them. I wear this brown one when I'm wearing my denim like I am right now. If I'm wearing khaki colored chinos, just so the brown doesn't clash, I prefer to change it up with the charcoal one. This brown scarf and this gray scarf that has a little bit of a houndstooth pattern, if I get up close, you guys can see. They're actually from Uniqlo, some of the warmest scarves I've ever used, and they were a grand total of $7 each. Kind of crazy, but Uniqlo, they're doing something right. I walked in, I think I bought like 3 or 4, and I just said, well, I'll just kind of give them away to family or donate them if I don't need them or if I don't use them. But the brown one and the charcoal gray one are my favorite. Super warm, $7 each. It's a no-brainer. Next item on our list is going to be a pair of leather gloves. I've chose to go with brown leather gloves, dark brown leather gloves that is. When I was shopping for leather gloves, I saw a lot of tan leather gloves. I wasn't really too into that. I had black leather gloves for a long time, but then I lost one. Like most people, you lose one glove and you're stuck with the other one and you go, where did it go? Who knows? But I got the dark brown leather gloves. These things are really good. They're by Tommy Hilfiger. They've got a fleece lining in there. I picked them up for like $30 at Macy's, which is a really good deal. They do have the touchscreen capability, so I could use my phone even though I end up just taking them off. But brown leather gloves or black leather gloves, if you're wearing something like a Peacoat, it ends up just matching a bit more. These aren't really the most water resistant gloves, but you're not really wearing them for that. You would be wearing them to look the part and look a little bit more of a smart casual picture. If you're wearing a suit, you can wear leather gloves, you wear a Peacoat, you wear a scarf, no problem. Sure, when you're out shoveling snow or if you're just out going out, you want to get a cheap $10 pair that's just really warm and really waterproof, absolutely no problem. But you want to stay stylish, just go with a nice pair of leather gloves like this. Macy's is constantly having deals. If you buy them from a couple other places, I've seen them go for north of $100. I'm sure they're high quality and I'm sure they're great. I'd rather buy a couple of pairs for a little bit less money. That way I have the peace of mind that if I lose it, it's not really that big of a deal. And I think that these gloves are fine. We're not really wearing them all the time, so I wouldn't really feel the need to invest that much money in something like a pair of leather gloves. And our next item, this is essential for me, was going to be a winter hat. So again, this is from Uniqlo. I think this one was $12. I buy one of these every year just because they start to look kind of rough and kind of raggy. Just because I guess the wool they're using is not the highest quality, but for 10 or 12 bucks, not a big deal. The warmest hat I've ever worn. Really, really, really comfortable in the wintertime. I don't get a scratchy head or anything like that. It's up to you guys. I know I've seen a lot of people that they have no problem going outside in all sorts of weather without a hat or head covering. I can't do that. If it's below 35 degrees, my ears just get really cold and I just can't handle it. So hats are really important for me. A hat and a scarf is really important for me. And the gloves, I can kind of do without unless I'm driving and the wheel's really cold. And there are other options instead of the wool beanie. I just find the wool beanie is going to be the easiest to style. It's not going to turn as many heads. It's just going to blend in. Maybe it's not the most dressy hat in the world, but if you get it in a color like navy or charcoal gray, I think it's going to really fit in nicely. And as long as it doesn't have any of those logos on there, if you're trying to dress up a little bit, you should be fine. I don't think anyone's going to turn their head and look at you and say, why are you wearing a hat with a suit if it's 0 degrees outside? So absolutely hats, another one, really, really good. So I almost forgot to mention this Parka jacket that I picked up last year. I think I got it as a gift, but I picked it out last year from J. Crew. The reason why was because, like I mentioned, that other down jacket that I had, the zipper was just getting kind of rough. It wasn't waterproof. It wasn't that warm. You know, my Peacoat, as good as it is, I didn't want to just keep relying on that for everything, just because you can't wear it open. I got this one last year, and this one has just been great. It has pockets here, has an inside pocket right there. It's got that hood. I have not worn a jacket with a hood in quite a long time, so it's pretty refreshing to just be able to throw the hood on if my ears get cold, if my head gets cold. And the really plus of this jacket is it's a lot more convenient most of the times than the Peacoat. Sure, it doesn't look as nice, but it also doesn't have an Ella Bean logo over here or a North Face logo over there. It's unbranded, and it's a classic piece of outerwear. It's not a Peacoat, it's not a Topcoat, it's not a trench coat. However, it's still not too far off. And I really, really had a lot of fun wearing this jacket. I find it very, very essential for me. So this one and the Peacoat, possibilities are endless. And the nice thing about this jacket is I've actually got one leather glove in this pocket, one leather glove in this pocket, and I could actually fold up this scarf right here, and I could just put it into this, I think they call this a map pocket right there, and I could just kind of put it in there. Now I could just take the jacket off and hang it up. I don't have to worry about where am I going to put my gloves, where am I going to put my hat, where am I going to put my scarf. Everything just goes inside the jacket, and the jacket moves as one piece. Whereas with the Peacoat, I can stuff things into the pockets, but it's just not as practical. Especially if you're just going into the grocery store real fast, or you're walking inside the mall. It's nice to just have a couple more options where you could just kind of stash these things and you know you're not going to lose them, versus walking around holding your hat, gloves, and scarf like I've done with this jacket before. So that's it. Those are just some of my essential items that I use every single winter to keep myself stylish, warm, and dry. I think that if you guys take the same approach as I do, spend money on quality, try to make sure you get the nice warmth, and you won't have to be wearing super big and bulky clothes if you don't want to, or putting on 2 or 3 jackets just to go outside and walk down the block. Once again, just to reiterate, we have the base layer, which is the Oxford shirt and the denim, the mid-weight denim jeans, preferably in a dark wash that are more business appropriate, the lightweight merino wool v-neck sweater. Boots, your choice, depends on the weather, depends on your comfort levels as well. Socks, once again, depends on the boots you're wearing, depends on the weather. How cold is it? How warm is it? Your activity level. Peacoat or wool topcoat if you're trying to look a little bit more professional in a smart casual or business casual situation. A stylish classic Parka jacket that's going to fit in a lot of situations, just for those extra cold days where it's extra wet, extra cold, and it's snowing a lot, and you don't want to deal with where you put all of your extra stuff like your hat, gloves, and scarf. And of course, leather gloves, wool cap, and a nice, good quality, affordable, super warm winter scarf. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if I helped you. Hope I did, as always. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.